YouTube, welcome back to another Nerdtastic Halloween episode. We are at our halfway mark. We are now on ghost number 4. I have been having a blast getting to do these ghosts. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it as well. And before I go into a little bit about what my next ghost is, once again, spoiler warnings. Again, I want to put out a spoiler warning as I am doing a couple of ghosts from the movie Beetlejuice Beetlejuice that definitely would contain spoilers for the movie. And I never want to spoil anything for anyone, so one more spoiler warning just in case you haven't seen the movie yet. So, with that being said, my fourth ghost in my roster decided to pick our dear Queen of Staples, Delores. I really like Dolores' character. I know there's kind of like a back and forth with a lot of the fans of the movie about her character, but I have to say I really loved how they weaved her through the main plots of the movie. I loved every time she was on screen, and her entrance was everything. We all know it. We all love it. And a big thing I really like about Delores is the fact that she's more grayscale, where a lot of the ghosts in the Beetlejuice universe are usually a blue, purpley color. Some are a little bit green, but like a lot of them are kind of staying in those tones, or their skin, like normal human skin color. And I like that she was different, like she was in that kind of darker grayscale tones. I think that was such a good juxtaposition to the rest of the ghosts, and I really loved anytime she was on screen. So I thought it'd be really fun to try and recreate her makeup. But yeah, so gonna hand it over to voiceover, and I will see you in the video.
Alright, let's get into this look. So with Delores, which I have a picture of her because it's actually, though it's so simple, it's also slightly difficult for me. But either way, so I go in first with just a gray water activated paint to base everything out with. And then I go in with a gray foundation I made out of just my normal foundation, my base foundation, and then I put in pigments of gray and blue and mix that, and then applied that later on to give myself a nice flat base. But I have to say, I think Dolores' makeup is very confusing with the lighting, which I mentioned later on, because her skin tone looks different in each scene depending on the lighting around her, and now that I've done the makeup, I can understand the confusion, because in some shots my makeup looks gray, in others it looks kind of greenish, and then sometimes it looks blue. So maybe just gray skin tones have a weird color shift? I'm not 100% sure, but that's why I kind of like the idea of people doing Dolores' makeup, because you don't have to paint yourself gray. It's totally not a necessary thing. It's just if you want to. And look at that! I did a transition right this time. So happy. Anyway, now that I've got my full base down, I am analyzing the crap out of this photo because I could not figure out which side of the face her, staple line went, which I do think is really funny that I analyzed that line for so long, and then I ended up messing up which eye the line for the eye makeup went on. You'll see later on after that I did the eye makeup on the wrong eyes. They were swapped when they weren't supposed to be, and I didn't realize until I had finished filming and was getting ready for the outro, and that's when I changed it. So it magically shifts sides of my face, but yeah, it's because I didn't realize that I was painting on the wrong side of my face. Not that I really think it would have been a big deal, but you know, it happens. I do think here I made my line too thick, but that's because I am the worst at drawing any kind of line without like overlining it, so sadly it happens. And now I'm using a toothpick to base out the lines for where the staples are gonna go. I've seen this toothpick trick all over the internet lately, especially with quick skull Halloween makeups and stuff. And I have to say it is genius because as I've already mentioned, I suck at drawing straight lines, and this makes it so much easier. So I just put some black paint on the toothpick and just tap it where I want it to place my staple line. And I do that for all of the staples. I just base it out in black first, since the ones on my face, I have physical, like, flattened staples that I'm going to put there, so I don't need to paint them silver. But the ones that I end up putting on my chest is just going to be paint, so I just like to have those kind of markers so I know where I'm supposed to go. But I really do like this whole toothpick trick. I definitely want to use it more in future makeups and such, because it does make things a lot easier. And now for the parts on my face, I go in with my Pro-Adhesive and lay that down first before applying, they're literally just bunches of staples that I had flattened the edges for, and that way I could just pop them on where I needed them. This is not necessary. I did it mostly for the fact that I'm really bad at, you know, certain kind of painting, especially when it comes to like trying to make something look 3D. I haven't really figured that out yet. And I really wanted that kind of shimmer that staples have. So I decided to use an actual, use actual staples for this. But again, totally unnecessary. You can get away with just doing gray lines or silver lines, whatever you want to do. But I'm just using some Prozade and some staples and just going on to all of the lines that I've already mapped out for myself. So after I apply all the physical staples, I do go in and paint the rest of the staple lines on my chest with just silver paint. Now I'm just going in to do the black eyeshadow look, which is pretty much just a really messy black eye. So I don't really think you could mess this up since it is very messy in itself. So I just packed on some black eyeshadow. I ended up using also black face paint as well, just because it was a little bit easier in certain areas. But pretty much you just make your whole eye a kind of smoky, messy black eyeshadow look. And just kind of make it as messy as possible. And then these are the lines I'm talking about. They are on the wrong side of the face. I end up fixing that later on, but right now they're on the wrong side, but it's fine. I think it's interesting that I know they're supposed to be like tear marks. Or at least I'm assuming that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be like, you know, because she cried, and her makeup ran and stuff. But like, all I think when I look at it, even when I looked at it on the actual actress, is it just looks like an early or early to late 90s grunge makeup look. Um and I think that's really funny to me because it just feels so out of place with everything else that she looks like. Like, she's so like mysterious yet also elegant, and then she's got this kind of like, I don't know, a grunge band makeup. But that could just be me. Either way, just pack it on. It's okay to be messy in this stance because her makeup is kind of messy. It's elegantly messy, but it's still a little bit messy. Now I'm going in with a kind of reddish brown lip, because her lipstick is definitely red, but it does have some like kind of darker, more maroon / brownish tones to it. So I just mixed up a red lipstick, a maroon lipstick, and a little bit of brown in there to kind of give that same dark lip effect, which I do really love. I love the contrast of all the like grays and blacks, and then this very vibrant yet muted maroon lip. And of course mascara, because let's be honest, number one, she totally had mascara, and number two, I can't live without my mascara. So also, do other people make the whole like wide mouth thing when they're putting on mascara, or is that just me? I always wonder. Just touching up the eyes one more time. Make them a little bit darker on the actual lash line. And I do a little bit of black on the waterline as well. Because seriously, her eyes are so dark. Then I go in to just darken up my eyebrows because she has just straight black eyebrows. So I just go in with some black paint just to fill in my eyebrows. And that's pretty much it.
And here's the final look. Overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I really like how different Delores is in comparison to the other ghosts in the Beetlejuice universe. And I like how strikingly simplistic her look is in comparison to all the cartoony death around her. I think it's just such a striking image when she comes on screen with the other ghosts. I do wonder if they were trying to pay homage to the Bride of Frankenstein, because there are some similarities, not just with the color scheme and, you know, well, she has staples instead of stitches, but like the stitching marks on the face and the red lip, but also the fact that like in the Bride of Frankenstein, the bride doesn't really talk. She makes noises, but she doesn't really talk in her movie, and Delores only talks a little bit. It just feels like there's a lot of similarities. Obviously, I'm probably just reading into this, as I usually do, but I do like that idea that they were trying to pay homage to another classic horror movie character. It's just a fun idea. I have no idea if it's true or not, but it's cool to think about. But I have to say though, Dolores' look is like the perfect makeup look for Halloween, because it is really simple and in truth, with her skin tone in the movie, like here, I'm not even 100% sure I got it correct. I tried to match it as close to a photo I had, but I noticed, depending on the lighting, her skin tone shifted multiple times. So in truth, you probably could just get away with not changing your skin tone and just doing the lines, the eyeshadow, and the lipstick, and people will know who you are. And I kind of like that. I like when there are looks in movies and such that you can recreate without any, you know, any prep, any idea what you're doing, just having fun and making something. And this one is definitely one of those. Like I mentioned in the video, of course, you don't have to use real staples like I did. I'm just real bad at illusion painting. I am the worst at trying to make something look 3D without a 3D item, as you can tell from the bottom stitches. So I really wanted that punch of the staples and the like shimmer that staples have on my face for this look, so that's why I used real staples. Obviously you don't have to. I just can't make anything easy. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please hit that subscribe. And if you feel ever so inclined, please leave me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Anyway, that is it for me. Until next time, as always, stay nerdy, my friends. Later!